Hey, welcome to Postpartum Reframed, your guide to biblical joy. On this podcast, I'll discuss about the who, what, why, and hows of cultivating and practicing biblical joy in the first year postpartum. I'm your host, Kendall. I'm a wife and mama to 4 amazing children who you may hear in the background sometimes of this podcast. By the grace of God, I have overcome postpartum depression, rage, and anxiety by daily leaning into the strength that comes purely from His joy. Now I'm passionate about helping other moms do the same so that even in the hard moments of postpartum, it can still be seen as a joy-filled experience. This podcast is available on YouTube as well as various podcast players. You can find the full show notes in the description of anywhere that you are listening, and if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Now let's dive into today's episode. In today's episode, I'm talking about the unexpected gift of postpartum pain, 3 lies I had to break to finally feel daily joy. So point number 1 is I need more time to myself. In Matthew 11:28-29, it says, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls.'" So, not that it's inherently bad to have time for yourself. I think everyone can benefit from having time to yourself. However, when I went through postpartum depression after my 3rd, I went to therapy. I looked for supplements that could try and help boost my mood. And one of the reasons that I went through the postpartum depression to begin with is because he was waking every 1 to 2 hours for his entire first year of life. And I personally do not do well on little sleep. For whatever reason, I just cannot function very well. I went to therapy, and what I have found is that I didn't need more time for myself. I didn't need more time away from my children. What I needed was Jesus. I needed more Jesus in the morning, all throughout the day, in the nighttime, and I wasn't making the time to spend with him every single day. I wasn't making the time or even talking to him all throughout the day. And so when I did that in my 4th postpartum, especially after I noticed that I was following a similar pattern and I was getting really close to getting postpartum depression again, I started feeling down, having very low energy outside of the normal postpartum exhaustion. I made the choice. I was like, I am not doing this again. I am not allowing the enemy to steal my joy. I'm choosing joy, and I'm going to go to God about everything. I'm going to talk to Him at night. I'm going to talk to Him during the day. Even when I can't hear my own thoughts, I'm still going to talk to Him. So the next point is, I would think I need chocolate and coffee. Today's been a really hard day. I just want some chocolate. That'll make me feel happy. Or, I'm so exhausted. I need coffee. I'm still so exhausted. I need more coffee. In Isaiah 55:2-3, it says, "Why spend your money on food that does not give you strength? Why pay for food that does you no good? Listen to me, and you will eat what is good. You will enjoy the finest food. Come to me with your ears wide open. Listen, and you will find life. I will make an everlasting covenant with you. I will give you all the unfailing love I promised to David." Now, again, not that there's anything with chocolate and coffee, but if we are running to chocolate or running to coffee because of the exhaustion or because it's been a morning filled with tantrums, or enter your reason here, and we're running to those things instead of Jesus, that's where the issue comes in, and that's where they can become idols. And so for me personally, he convicted me on this. I was essentially putting coffee and chocolate above him. I was running to those things instead of him. And so he called me to give up coffee. And, I'm not going to act like I have been perfect in this, but he is so gracious and so forgiving that I come right back to him and I'm like, Lord, I'm sorry. Help me to depend on you. Help me to depend on your strength, to depend on your energy, because I don't need coffee. I don't need chocolate. I need you. And if this sounds like you too, but you don't know where to start, or you're like, I definitely need the extra support if I'm going to give up coffee or chocolate, then this is why I will be coming out with a 4-week intensive where you're a part of a small private community in Voxer. You will be able to submit your question, what you're struggling with, or a prayer request at any time via voice or text message, and I personally will respond each day, guiding you on how to practice true joy in your life right now. This allows each person to receive one-on-one coaching, but it also allows other members to encourage each other, to not feel alone, and to learn how to grow together. It's the perfect next step for the mama who wants to move from hearing to doing in a shorter time span. So if this is something that you or someone you know are interested in, I'll leave a link for the waitlist in the show notes so that you can be the first to know all of the details and when enrollment opens. Okay, so on to the next point is, I would say, I can't do anything other than be mom. In 1 Timothy 2:15, it says, but women will be saved through childbearing, assuming they continue to live in faith, love, holiness, and modesty. And then in Ecclesiastes 3:1, it says, for everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. I would say this when I was exhausted or I was trying to do too many things at once. I want to make it a point that there is nothing wrong with just doing your duty as a mom. You're raising a disciple or disciples, depending on how many children you have. You are doing kingdom work. You're pouring into eternal souls every single day just by being their mom and raising them. That is one of the most important jobs you'll ever have in this lifetime. Not to say that your business or your side business or your career isn't important by any means, but when you're investing your time, your energy, and your resources into someone's eternity, then that is going to be top priority. That's going to go above everything else. So when you start to get those thoughts, come back to God and ask Him to help you see your role as mom as such a high priority. Ask Him to show you if what you're wanting to do right now fits in this current season, and He will guide you and show you the things that He wants you to work on in that season. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Postpartum Reframed podcast today. If this helped, encouraged you, or you have a question, please take a few moments to comment, leave a review, or share it with another mama who could benefit from this type of content. Let's create a world where women can have a joy-filled postpartum together. And remember that if you or someone you know needs extra support, click the link in the description to join the waitlist when that service becomes available soon. I'll see you next week.